What is up, Brassonians? Welcome to another exciting HotS build with Choogie. What's going on?
Yo, what? Ah,
I'm super excited. I mean, I was sad we don't get to
yeah,
stream, but I'm glad we're like back in the saddle with the hotsness because it's super fun.
yeah.
I think I do. I have the Wonder Woman skin. Yeah, now we're talking. All right,
Yeah, that's the
very
coolest
important.
one. I mean, she just got a lot of great skins, but it's hard not to go Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she does have cool skins, but definitely the way to go. It's like Wonder Woman right
'Cause
off
I
the bat.
got this is for the Lunar Festival one.
Oh, that's cool
This was like
looking.
like the Year of the Phoenix, I think. And then I got some different colors, and then I got the Pirate one, and then I got these ones, which is what you were on before. But I don't have the color that you actually had.
The This is the only one I have for
Yeah,
unlocked, I should
I
say.
don't have that color.
Oh.
I got three other ones.
Yeah. Got other ones
And
for
then yeah, with her
days.
normal ones, her number of other ones are cool for sure, but gotta go Wonder Woman.
Absolutely. So in keeping with our Ladies Appreciation Month,
Yeah,
we're doing some more ladies. Consensually.
yeah. We appreciate ladies so much. We waited halfway through the month to start.
To get it going. So we got Cassia. She is a
Yeah,
ranged assassin. Um and you got to see some of her action with Scott playing her a little bit last week. Or not even last week,
yeah,
like 3 days ago. Um
yeah,
so we've got
yeah. Her,
light.
I like. So this build, I think, should go a little bit faster because I actually play her a little bit, and I know what I like for her.
Okay. So we've got I'll go through her abilities real quick. So we've got a lightning fury, so we're gonna hurl a lightning javelin that deals 158 damage to the first enemy hit, and then it splits into two lightning bolts, and those deal 158 to enemies in their path. So that's cool. Blinding light, so after half a second, deal 50 damage and blind enemies in the target area for 2 seconds, and I deal more damage to blinded targets. And then fend, charge at an enemy, and when arriving channel for up to 1.5 seconds, dealing 64 damage to enemies in front of Cassia every 0.25 seconds. That's dope. Deals 50% reduced damage to non heroes. Um, and avoidance remains charged while channeling. So this is like my trait here. While I'm moving, I gain armor, and if I'm stationary, the armor is rapidly lost. So I gotta keep it moving. I
Yeah.
hear.
So she's a big so she's a ranged assassin, so she throws her spears, and so her big premise is to stutter step, which is where you basically you move, you throw a spear, you move, you throw a spear, you move, you throw a spear. That's called stutter stepping. And so that way you can keep the uptime on your armor up as high as you can. So the armor is going to be 30 percent damage mitigation from basic attacks.
So
So
you're saying my spastic
uh,
mouse clicking is gonna like come in handy this time? And it's not gonna like it's not because I can't click where I want to
it,
actually
it
be.
it might, you kind of have to be a little bit more deliberate
Okay.
when you do it. Pretty much like what you can do for her since she has 30 armor. When you are running away from a enemy hero, as you start to run, stop and attack them. You throw your spear and then start running again. Throw your spear, you can run again.
Okay.
Um, so it's just a matter of you got to click your enemy. Once you make that attack, and then you got to click to where you actually want to go. So I would say that's kind of like the only. She's a medium difficulty. Um, I think she's very easy to do. But the medium part of that difficulty comes in if you want to make avoidance, if you want to really bring that uptime of the armor of avoidance, that's where the medium part comes in.
Okay. And then for
Is
My crazy powers, I get ball lightning, so I get to throw a ball of lightning at an enemy hero. It bounces up to 6 times to nearby enemy heroes, dealing 180 to each enemy hit. And then
You can bounce
Valkyrie.
it off yourself as well.
Okay, so
So
like if there's not
if
very
you're
many of
facing
us.
one on one, it'll bounce off you and back to the enemy.
And then I
So
take the
that way it's
damage as
not.
well.
No, nope, you don't.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You can just. It's basically so that way ball lightning isn't a complete pile of garbage if you're facing a single target.
Okay. Or I summon a Valkyrie that rushes to Cassia and pulls the first enemy hero hit, dealing 225 and stunning them. Um, and then knocks back all other enemy heroes in her way. All
Yeah.
right. So teach me the ways. What am I?
Okay.
What am I doing?
So first, let's talk the heroics again. So ball lightning is excellent for team fights. You click your enemy and it just bounces between them. And if there's two enemies, it just bounces back and forth, back and forth. Um, so it's pretty sweet to just drop that in there. It causes a lot of panic. It's easy to use. And Valkyrie is very cool, but I find it harder to hit. So what you do is basically when you activate it, you get your long cursor. It's going to be like a long skill shot. And when you
Okay.
activate it, Valkyrie is going to appear behind your enemy. So you got to aim it right. So they appear behind your enemy, and then when they hit an enemy hero, then they fly towards you and they pull that enemy hero towards you. So
Oh,
which
okay.
is amazing because if someone's running away, you can bring them back. You can pull the healer away from a team fight, pull the tank out of the team fight, or just grab an assassin, and your team can just focus them. So this one is the more skillful of the two abilities. Um, but if your team isn't going to pay attention and capitalize on your pulls, I'd say this
Yeah.
is no good. Or if you end up missing a lot, then that is kind of hurtful as well. So I think ball
That
lightning is
sounds like
easy and
something
it's pretty
I would do.
satisfying as well. It is a big skill shot though, because the Valkyrie is like the size of a whole nother character, so it is pretty big.
Oh, it is a big
So
thing.
it's not, yeah, yeah. So it's not like a little. It's not like Ana with the sniper shots or this razor thin little line.
That checks out. I will be. I'm gonna let you talk about these real quick, and I'm gonna BRB because Batman won't stop barking. Be right back.
Okay. Are you making the build? Oh, well, she's gone. Uh, okay, everybody. I guess we're gonna go ahead and go through the build here. Um, I will read through the talents as usual. I like to do well, unless I read something that is really different, but I really like to do a blinding light fend build. Because blinding light, you're gonna deal 20% increased damage to all targets, period. And then fend, um, you're going to oh, they changed it. They changed it. Okay, so fend used to give a damage bonus on blinded enemies, but now they made it a passive. So they actually made it a little bit better. I think the damage boost is less, but now you get a damage bonus, period. So it doesn't have to be with Fend. You can do it all your moves. Either way, it's going to work out really nice. And the non-hero damage reduction is mainly just so she was so OP at wave clear. You would use Fend and you'd annihilate the wave. Fend wouldn't even be done channeling and the wave would be done. So I did the blinding light Fend build the last time me and Katie played, so I'm going to stick with that build. Depending on what I read, we might make a second choice, a second build, because the very first thing I'm looking at, the very first talent is called Thunderstroke, and it is a quest chain for her Lightning Fury ability. So it increases the damage of Lightning Fury by 25. Lightning Fury's damage is increased by 1.5 every time it hits a hero. And that's cool because there's no end to that. So that just goes and goes and goes and goes. Um, What I don't like about Fury, though, it's a skill shot. You hit your target, and then those two lightning bolts that branch out from it. They go uh, uh, perpendicular to your point of impact, so they don't. It's not like an angled thing or whatever. Um, right when you hit a hero, they shoot perpendicular out sideways. So it's really hard to make this. I find it anyway hard to make this thing capitalize in a team fight. Because the first person you're hit, it's gonna kind of shoot off in a wall formation with those lightning strikes. Impale, which is something we're gonna like, increases Fenn's cast range, which is nice. The area effect by 25%. It deals an additional 50% damage to enemies below 50% health. So um, you're always going to want to blind the enemies uh, to get that 20%. And then if they're at half health, you're going to do an additional 50%. So I really like Impale. Now, charge strikes, you gain 15% attack speed. Every third basic attack deals 15% bonus damage and bounces to a nearby enemy hero. That's really cool.
That sounds so good.
Okay, we're gonna keep this in mind because we might be able to do a pretty nice uh, basic attack build. I hope.
So you were saying what you
Um,
picked for yours?
I like Impale. I like to go for a blinding light. What was that move called? Fend. Blinding light Fend build is what I like. I was saying that
Okay.
they actually changed the move. Before Fend got a damage bonus on blinded enemies, they took that out and they just gave the passive. Um, just passively, she deals 20% increased damage to blinded targets. So now, if you miss with Fend, you can still just attack with other stuff. So that's pretty nice. The damage bonus is less since it's a passive, but that's still good because that means you can drop your lightning ball and then blind enemies as well, and then your lightning ball will do 20% damage if any of those guys are blind. So I'm still gonna default to the blind and Fend, excuse me, build. Um, Thunderstroke, I was saying, is you'll see when you use it. I don't care for it that much because it's a thin skill shot, and when it says that it branches out in lightning when it hits your target, the lightning shoots out perpendicular to your point of impact.
Yeah, so that's not going to be great.
So it's the only time when I really find it really great is if you use it on the front line of a minion wave because you hit the middle one and those two will branch off and hit the sides, or if you hit the gate, and then it'll branch off and then hit the two towers next to it.
Okay,
So
that checks out.
Thunderstroke's just kind of like a poke damage engage, or if they're running away, you can hopefully get them with that as well and get the kill. So I'm going for Impale. Uh, More damage on weaker enemies, and then a bigger range and area of effect. So this is like a cone of damage. You basically
Okay.
you click who you want to do the move to, and then from where they're at, you leap towards them, and then there's a cone from that point of impact, and anyone in that cone is going to get beat up. So ideally, you want to drop your blinding light in a group, and then attack the first person in that group with Fend. So that way everyone behind them will get caught up in it as well.
Okay.
So 4, Plate of the Way, regenerate 6 health per second while avoidance is active. If fully charged, gain an additional 12 health per second. That's kind of cool on a big map if you're going to be running around a lot. On a big map, this is pretty cool. I usually do Ring of the Leech. Basic attacks. Oh, they changed it. Basic attacks against your primary target heal for 50% of their damage. If an enemy is blinded, this also affects Lightning Fury and Fend. There we go. Okay. So they did change it a little bit. It used to just be damage. So the way how this would be nice is if you blind your enemy and then you do fend, um, that way you're gonna heal in a big group when you use fend.
Okay.
So that's what I usually use. An inner light activates the heal for 25% of your maximum health over 5 seconds. Enemy heroes hit with Lightning Fury lower the cooldown of this ability by 10 seconds. That's pretty cool too, just to be able to activate it just to get health. That's pretty good too. But if you mess up your Lightning Fury, then that's 10 seconds of a cooldown you're not going to get back.
Yeah.
Um, I would say Ring of the Leech, because the whole point of this build is to blind and fend, blind and fend. That's our main goal. And if you hit a lot of, because when you do fend, the healing you're gonna get from fend, it's gonna be per target hit. So you can get a lot of life back really fast if you hit a large enough group. But you have to blind them first. So I say Ring of Leech by default, but if we get a big map, I think Plate of the Whale would be fun to actually test out a bit.
Okay.
Just to run around, because when you get to point A to point B, I wonder how helpful this healing really will be.
Well, and it's nice too if you're running away and then you're healing while you're running away. Like that's kind of nice too.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, because they changed Ring of the Leech. It used to just be your damage that you would just heal for your damage output, and now they changed it a bit. They made it a little harder to use. Actually, I'm gonna switch to Plate of the Whale. Yeah, I would say either one of those two. But since I want to test out Plate of the Whale, I'm gonna
Yeah.
put that one on. Okay, 7 Grounding Rod. Enemies hit by a Lightning Fury or Fend are slowed by 20% for 2 seconds. Very good. The problem with Fend is when you start to do it, you cannot move, and enemies can leave that cone of damage, so slowing them will be nice. Seraph's Hymn. Basic attacks against your primary enemy primary enemy hero grant 10 mana and reduce the cooldown of Blinding Light by 1.5 seconds. Cool. Increase the passive damage bonus of Blinding Light from 20% to 30%. That's also very cool. Surge of Light. After taking 650 damage with Avoidance active, Cassia can activate Avoidance to deal 240 damage to enemies around her. That's pretty cool. That sounds like a lot of damage.
Yeah, it does.
I would say definitely never take Surge of Light if you don't have Plate of the Whale. Because if you want to get hit while Avoidance is active, then you're going to want to get healing while it's active as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I usually go with Grounding Rod because I like the slow. But getting your blind back is pretty nice too, but it's only against enemy heroes. So I'm going to lean on Grounding Rod.
Yeah, I'm just going to put Seraph's Hymn on the basic attacks build and then kind of play with that a little bit.
Yeah, for 10, I'm going to go Lightning Ball.
Yeah.
Because the damage output's 9. If you can drop Lightning Ball, then Blind, and then Fend to that huge group, then you're going to be doing a lot of damage and a lot of chaos, and people are not going to know if they focus you and kill you real quick while you're stuck stationary, or if they should just get the hell out of there. And even if they do run away, Lightning Ball is going to be bouncing around on them. So it makes the enemy team have to scatter. Because if you're in the range, you're going to get hit with the ball. And if they split up far enough away, then the ball has no one to bounce to. So they can cancel it early, which sucks, but if they do that, it means they have to spread out, which is a good chance the healer isn't going to be in the range of the attack either. So they can't even heal.
Of everybody.
So you can really split up a team as well. So 13, War Matron. Cassia becomes protected while channeling Fend for an additional 1 second if the channel is completed. I don't get that. Channeling. What do you need to be? Oh, okay, that's cool. So you're protected while you do fend, which means you got the good defense. You can be interrupted. Oh, no, no, no. Protected is you can take damage, but you cannot be stunned or knocked up. So you're gonna get it off, is what it sounds like. And
Okay.
then it lasts for 1 second when you're done channeling. War Traveler gain 5% movement speed. That's cool. While avoidance is fully charged, gain an additional 10% movement speed, and mounting is instant. This is cool. Okay, okay, this is cool. We're gonna make an avoidance build because there's too much avoidance shit on here now.
Okay.
Okay, this is cool. Gloves of Alacrity gain 1 basic attack range. Very cool. While avoidance is fully charged, gain an additional 1 basic attack range. Wow. This is when. So, Gloves of Alacrity, this is for basic attack build for sure. But this is when you
Okay.
want to stutter step big time. Because 1
Okay.
range is actually a pretty big distance. Uh, so when I play Zul'jin and I do his quests, they give me 1.1 range for each one, so it's a little bit bigger than hers, but it is a world of difference on how far that range actually goes. So if you run around, you get that avoidance up, you get 2 extra basic range, and as long as you practice stutter stepping, you can keep that range up, and that's I mean this is hard to do because your damage output does stutter it suffers a little bit because while instead of doing a second attack, you're walking to the side. Um, but that's a lot of range if you can keep avoidance up. So, but I mean, I would say War Traveler is probably well, if you're on a small map, you don't really need War Traveler. Anyway, for the blinding Fen build, we're gonna go with War Matron.
Okay.
Because what does it do? I already forgot. The whole
Protected while
protection.
channeling. Yeah.
Yeah, very okay. Power Strike. Lightning Fury pierces, but only splits on heroes. Okay. Enemy heroes hit reduce its cooldown by 1 second and become marked for 15 seconds. Upon reaching 3 marks, remove them and cast a blinding light at their feet. Oh, okay. Okay. Seems like we should make a Lightning Fury build, but that's cool. She has like 3 builds maybe.
Yeah.
Well, her basic
It's
attack
cool.
build may not be all that great because there's only like 1 or 2 basic attack ones, but we'll see. Static Electricity gain 2 additional charges of Lightning Fury. Okay. Fen's Impact launches a lightning bolt toward each nearby enemy hero. Cool. She's cool. She's got these powers. Like, look at the little icons. She has
Mm-hmm.
them through her whole skill tree. It is a single talent that buffs both moves. That's really, really cool. So this is cool because we can just be more spammy with Lightning Fury, and then it strengthens our fend because now when we do fend, we're gonna be shooting out lightning bolts at heroes. So that's pretty sweet. Martial Law. Basic attacks against enemy heroes deal bonus damage equal to 1% of their maximum health. Increase this to 3% if they are stunned, rooted, or slowed. Okay. Okay. I know we have the talent to do some slows. That's only for 2 seconds. I don't know. This talent is good depending on your team. If you have a team that can root, slow, and stun, this will be more effective if you have some beefy enemies. So
Okay. If you've got like a
Stitches,
Malfurion on your team or something.
Stitches. Yeah, yeah. Malfurion would be good to have on your team. Because remember, when you deal with percentage of health, that damage is always going to be set to 1%. But if your opponent has 1,000 health versus 5,000 health, that 1% is going to be more damage on the 5,000 health guy.
Yeah.
So this, I would say, really, this is only going to be good if you have your enemies have the big beefy boys on their team, and your team has some good stunts. I don't think this is really super great necessarily.
Okay.
So for this build, go with static electricity because we're going to make our fend stronger.
Sounds good.
And then 20, ball of lightning can now bounce indefinitely. Every bounce reduces its cooldown by 5 seconds. Wow, that's really cool. That
That's
means the lightning ball will always bounce unless the whole team splits up.
that's crazy.
That is really good. And reduce the cooldown. What is the cooldown?
Well, and it bounces off me
See,
too, right? So
60
if I
seconds.
chase
Yeah.
somebody down because they're like trying to get away, then I can just like keep
Yep.
bouncing it at them. That's cool.
Yep. And it's 60 seconds. Excuse me.
Yeah, every bounce is down by 5, so I'm at least getting 10
Yeah.
seconds off.
Yeah. It. I don't. Well, every bounce reduces the cooldown. It doesn't specify damaging bounces. So yeah, if it bounces off of you, then yeah, maybe it'll work. That'd be really cool. That's really good. The Valkyrie upon impaling an enemy hero, they are blinded for 5 seconds, and Cassia's Valkyrie creates a wave of light that deals 200 damage to nearby enemies. This wave silences and roots them for. Fuck, that's really good too. Wow, this is like a major lockdown, and then they're blinded, so it sets you up as well. Whoever you pin gets really fucked up, and everyone else gets rooted, silenced, and damaged. So that's really nice. Titan's Revenge. Cassia's basic attacks now ignore armor. Wow. And while avoidance is fully charged, they deal an additional 20% bonus. Wow.
If you
That's
make it
insane.
if you make it to 20, you're just OP.
If you make it to 20, so Deathwing, right? His whole premise is unless you fuck up his health, he starts off with 40 armor until you get him down a quarter health, and then he loses 10 armor. That's how he works. So he starts off with armor, and every quarter health he loses 10 armor until he flies back up again. And for her, end game, she'll just ignore his armor, period. And
Yeah.
if you're good at stutter stepping, and you can keep your avoidance up, that's another 20% more damage. That puts him at -2 armor or -20 armor.
Yeah.
That's really, and there's other guys that just like, I think Arthas has a built-in 10 armor. I can't think. There's a couple characters, and there's even the mercenary set. The mercenary team is when it's the wizard and the 3 knights. That wizard has I think 20 spell armor for anyone in that radius. So she just ignores that guy.
Yeah, she's like, don't care.
Yeah, this is really nice. Rock Stopper, 30-second cooldown. Activate the fully charged avoidance and increase its armor value to 60 for 4 seconds. Wow. Okay, that's really cool too. Okay, so for this build, let's just go with Infinite Lightning,
Okay.
because this is our big AoE build, our blind, fend, AoE. Now let's go to build 2 real quick, and let's get this avoidance. This avoidance build was very exciting to me. The one part you were gone for Thunderstroke, you do 25 more damage for Lightning Fury, and every time you hit a hero, you increase it by 1.5. But there's no
Okay.
cap to it. There's no
Oh, sick.
it just goes. It just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. So the negative part is that you don't get some big nice bonus at any certain point. But the nice part is that if you can land these hits, you're gonna get a lot of damage.
Okay.
Uh, so we're gonna make a Lightning Fury build too because yeah. Okay, we'll stick with avoidance. Um, attack speed. That'll be good for start attack. Okay, so let's go with charge strikes,
Okay.
plate of the whale,
Okay. Oh my god, bats.
surge of light,
Okay.
um, maybe ball of lightning. So that way, if you chase the enemies and you use yourself, you can get that
Got
avoidance up.
bouncy
Maybe.
bounce. Okay.
Yeah. Let's do. Okay, this is the hard one. If you're good at stutter stepping, gloves of alacrity might be really great.
Okay.
War Traveler. If it's on a small map, I don't know how great this is going to be, but movement speed is going to be nice to keep up with your enemies while you're bouncing. Let's do War Traveler because now you move 5% faster. If your avoidance is full, you get 10% moving faster. So you can chase them down and stick with that group better while you are using yourself to bounce lightning ball. So let's stick with that. And I would say definitely maybe try stutter stepping, and if you get really good with it, gloves of alacrity can be really great. Now this one, I don't know. This one can be kind of anything. I think maybe how about let's try martial law because our avoidance build is kind of a little bit mixed in with the basic attack build as well. They're kind of mixed. Um, Now this one's tough. I would say let's go with Rock Stopper to give us a big uh, double boost of our armor value. Again, when you start to stutter step, if you get good with stutter step, Titan's Revenge is going to be better because if you can you ignore the armor, and then while avoidance is fully charged, you deal an additional 20% bonus damage. But that requires stutter stepping.
Which I'm gonna learn.
Yeah. So once you learn that, Titan's Revenge is better, and then Gloves of Alacrity at 13 are better if you can get the stutter stepping down. Okay, and real fast, build 3. Let's try this Lightning Fury build. So we're gonna want Thunderstroke for a damage boost, and then constant stacking damage boost. Um, do inner light, so we can activate the heal, and Lightning Fury on heroes reduces the cooldown by 10 seconds. So we're going to be using a lot of Lightning Fury, so we might as well get a cooldown on that. Let's go ahead and do. We want Grounding Rod. give our lightning a slow. Any super or any heroic of your choice. I'm just gonna do lightning ball because I know I like it. This one's up to you. Lightning doesn't benefit from any of these, so War Traveler may not be bad, so we can make sure we move fast enough to always stay in range of our lightning.
Okay.
In fact, yeah, do that, because on this next one, static electricity is going to give us 2 additional charges. So now we want to stay close so we can land 3 lightnings. And then now since we have 3 charges of lightning, that means our level 1 quest talent, we have now 3 shots before waiting for the cooldown to get that damage up. So static electricity for that one. And then our last, nothing affects lightning, so I'm going to go infinite lightning, how about? Just because
it's dope.
yeah, just because it's cool. There's really no wrong answer because none of these will affect Lightning Fury.
Yeah.
So they're all fine.
Oh, cool.
All right, so there we go.
3 builds for the price of 1. Holy cow.
Yeah, what's the time on that? It took us 50 minutes for
Oh, this
for
one's this one's almost 37.
But we got 3 builds.
Got 3 builds, yeah.
That's like 12 minutes a build.
Value town.
All right.
All right, Brass City, we're going to be right back with, as my favorite 4-year-old calls them, the Goms. We'll be right back with the Goms. And like, share, subscribe. And definitely check out the next video where I try not to be bad at Cassia. Bye!